So video 5, we're going to be talking about optimizing and what to do next. So I brought this up in an earlier video that the beautiful thing about Quartile is it auto manages with AI the bidding for your search terms. Bidding took up so much of our agency's time that that's all we focused on was optimizing bids. It took hours and hours per week. Now that we can focus on other things, it opens up the agency, it opens up brands because you can do so much more. And so you don't have to worry about the bidding from day to day, the bid adjustments, the budgets, because they do it all for you. And so what I want to go over today, or with this video, is optimizing your listing, getting more positive reviews, and then what's next with sponsored brands and sponsored display ads. Now, again, I have a free blog post on 11 best practices for Amazon listing optimization. I recommend going through this. And so I talk about Amazon keyword research, title, and how the first 5 words matter. We just kind of talked about that. Bullets. And so let's go back to this a little bit with the title and the bullets. And then also we'll go into photos here in just a little bit. So when you're looking at your search term report, you want these search terms that show up over and over and over again to be in the front of your title. So let's go over to my listing. Hydrate Lid and Lash Cleanser for eye irritation. That's on purpose because Hydrate Lid and Lash Cleanser, eyelid, eye spray. And so what we did is we took that eye and eyelid and put it towards the front of our title. Now you have to be very careful with how you use things when you're helping a condition like dry eyes and blepharitis. So that's why we're not saying for blepharitis for dry eyes, we're for eye irritation and eyelid relief. Because we try to think of the symptom that the disease causes and what they're thinking. And so if somebody types in dry eye and it says eye irritation, eyelid relief, that's what we're going for with this. But you want to take what's selling and put it at the front of your title. You want to take what's selling and put it in your bullet points. Your bullet points also, you need to think of the benefit of the feature. What I see with bullet points all the time is features. Nobody cares about your features. They want to know what's in it for them. And so how can your feature benefit them? And so our hypochlorous acid cleans eyelids. Cleaner eyelids help soothe irritated eyes and itchy, dry, inflamed skin conditions. They also want to know who you are. And so I usually recommend putting this at the 5th bullet, but we found that it actually works really well when we use the split test bullets up front. So people believe in our mission and they want to be a part of it. So we put how we're different. Nobody else is doing that in our space. People love organic products and all natural support. And so we put that here. This is a very feature-driven bullet, but we've already gone after the emotion up here. So the benefit of the feature. Easy eyelid application. That's a benefit. It's so easy to use and it's a fast onset and it's very fast and easy to use. So you just spray it on and then it stays on. And then another common question that we get is, can I use this on my elderly mom or can I use this on my baby? So you always want to focus on the benefits of your product instead of the features. And that's where I see a lot of people go a little wrong, is just not wrong, but they just focus on features. Of getting rid of the brand name. So is there a neat trick to getting rid of the brand name when you don't want it at the beginning of your title? So, and love how we are different coming from the brander, Matt. Yeah. We put this on here on purpose. And so we believe in our brand name and we want people to see it over and over again. And so try to think of yourself as a brand versus an Amazon seller, and try to build your brand awareness. It takes time. Matt's the brand builder on the phone call. So I'd love for him to go into that a little bit more, but you need to focus on brand because you want them to come back and buy more. You want them to feel good about buying from you and knowing you. And so that comes with a purpose. We've been out for 3 years. Hydrate's been around for 3 years, but you can see that most of our sales come from our brand name now. And so I would not shy away from using your brand name in the title. So let's talk about listing optimization a little bit more. Helium 10 has a great tool. Again, it's their evaluation tool. And so I love using this and just seeing what you can do with it. Let me check this chat one more time. Yeah, Matt says, I think your brand name has to be in the title now. Yeah, it might be required by Amazon #1, but I think he's talking about it from a branding perspective as well. All right. Supplemental trademark still works for brand registry from what I remember. Hydrate, no. Yeah, I believe Hydrate is a supplemental trademark for us, and we got brand registered for that. But using Helium 10 to listing optimize, you want to look at this with all your listings and see, like this one, fewer than 7 images. Make sure you have all those images. Image dimensions, they have small images, so they want to increase those. Their title is too short. They do have all their bullets. They do have enhanced brand content, and their rating is really good. But those are the things you want to look at. And just going back to this blog post, photos are huge. Look at your photos again and focus on your benefits again. So people love that our product is organic and vegan, and we have a satisfaction guarantee. Those are kind of all still features, but that's what people are looking for. And so all natural support for your skin, hypoallergenic, hypochlorous acid formula. A lot of these people have really irritated skin, and a lot of things they try irritate their skin. So we try to focus on that. Your eyes will thank you, invest in your eye health. And so just really focusing on putting the benefits in your actual photos. So reduce eye drop use, soothe burning dry red eyes, wear your contact lenses longer, rapid onset with relief in as little as 2 weeks. So that's a heavily benefit driven bullet. Again, how to use benefits. So really focusing on the benefits of your listing and put it on the photos as well. Let's go down. Making sure you have professional photos. So invest $500 per product and get professional photos made. When we had these made, it increased our conversion quite a bit. It just looks a lot nicer, and they'll do things that you may not have thought of. And lifestyle images are always important. Handspring, go ahead.
Also for video, take $1,000 and invest in a video for your video, for your product, because then also too, you can take it, you can cut it up and you can make it for ads. You can put it on your social media. You can put it in a lot of different areas. Video is the next big frontier for Amazon ads. So, and also too, the sooner you can get into video and get that, those ads, that's fantastic. Those are really cheap clicks right now for us still.
Oh yeah, video has been great. So let's just jump briefly into backend search terms. A very easy way to do backend search terms is just to come over here to your search term report again and just grab a bunch of these words that are your best sellers. Now I said don't split test search terms, but you do want to update them every once in a while. And so I put them all into here, add only spaces, one word or phrase. We don't want to do any of that. We want to remove duplicates, convert all to lowercase. That doesn't really matter too much. And then let's see, remove special characters. Let me see if this is what I want. Yeah, and so you can take this long list of search terms, like this is almost 50 words, put it into Frankenstein, click process to remove duplicates and everything, and then you can see this is pretty much your backend search terms. And you want to go up to your limit so we can add even more. So let's just kind of keep adding some more. Hit process again. Then you can see we're almost to that limit. And so take this, put it in your backend search terms. That's a really easy way, and just doing this every once in a while because your search terms are always going to be changing. So let's go on to reviews. Reviews are the single most important thing when it comes to Amazon. And next to like keywords, you need to do great keyword research, but you need to get reviews, and you need to have a process of getting reviews on a consistent basis. If you don't have good reviews, 31,000 reviews, that's amazing. There's a reason this is #2 sales rank. It's because they have 31,000 reviews. It's insane. We have 1,973. I guarantee our sales will tick up once we hit 2,000, which is coming very, very soon. Brooder right here, 11 rating. I guarantee their sales aren't that good because of that. 115,000 sales rank as a result of having no reviews. So there's two things. quantity of reviews and quality of reviews. So you need to make sure you're at least 4.5 or have that 4.5 rating. This product we used to struggle with. We used to constantly teeter between the 4 and the 4.5 star because it would be at like 4.2. If you're at 4.2, it drops down to 4 stars as far as the picture is what I'm talking about, like this actual image. And if you're at 4.3, it jumps up. Now you can see we're at 4.4 now because I'm going to show you the strategy that we used to get it to go up. And now we don't have to worry about it anymore. We use this on all our products. And I want to show you a couple more just as an example. And so this product, and you have to have a good quality product, number one. That's kind of key step number one. If you don't have a great quality product, then you're not going to get a lot of good reviews. But this product, 385 ratings. This product's only been out for a year, but 4.5. That's a lot of, that's a high review count. That's huge. Good quality product, but the feedback system I'm going to go over here today. So with that being said, let's jump into that feedback system. I don't think we need Quartile anymore today. So this is something that I've hesitated to share just because it is so good, but you guys all, I think, will benefit greatly from this. Now, I'm going to show you how to request reviews on all products on Autopilot, so you don't have to, no longer have to worry about it. Like I said before, Seller.tools has a tool, Helium 10 has a tool, but you still have to manually go in and click a button in order to get those reviews requested. This is where Managed by Stats kind of has that leg up. I think they have built a great, I'm not a big Managed by Stats fan, but they have like 1 or 2 tools that are just, they're really amazing. And that's why I continue using them. So I'm going to teach you how to request reviews on all products and then how to get more positive reviews. Let me actually go over how to get more positive reviews first. So I'm inside Managed by Stats. And I'll just go over this to kind of, we do still send a follow-up email. It's going away. We don't do it for our brands anymore that we manage just because I don't think it's worth it. But ours is a big like how-to product, like how to use it. And so that's all we send as a follow-up. And we do it usually 5 days after purchase. So about the time they're going to be getting the product. And what we do is we do it on a per product basis. We have a picture of the product and then how it works and then how to use it. So just education, no links to anything. You can only have one picture now, but it's all based on just providing value. We don't have a link in there asking for a review, nor do we have a link asking for seller feedback. We just don't do any of that anymore. It's 100% strictly. We used to have coupon codes in here to buy our other products, but Amazon didn't like that either. So we strictly just how to use the product. That's it. That's all we do now. And we send it 5 days after they purchase. It actually should be probably, yeah, 5 days after purchase is good. You could, I think delivery is one that you don't want to do or out for delivery because it doesn't quite update well on the Amazon system. That's the only email we send now. That's it. We don't send any other emails. Now, how to request a review. This is where Managed by Stats has got it right. So I'm going to come over here to this little mail icon and we're going to go to email rules. That's where we are right here. After we do that, we're going to go to add rule. We're going to do start from scratch. We're going to put our sender in there and put active. I'm not going to do active because I don't want to make this live. And I'm just going to call it repeat purchasers review request. Send this email. Let me actually check something real quick. Let's see when we're doing this one. 10 days after purchase. Yeah, so purchase is the one you want. So 10 days after purchase. If your product takes longer to feel results, then do that. If it takes a shorter time to feel results, do that. You don't have to enter any SKUs, which means all products. So I'm going to come down here to show, or we're going to come up here to type and review request, and then show advanced. This is the key part right here, down here. We want to, I'm actually going to take a picture of this for you guys and put it in the SOP. Show advanced. This is how we get more positive reviews. Image. Take a picture of this. Actually, let me see if I should go all the way up. Yeah, we can go all the way up. Let me just shrink this down just a little bit. There we go. All right, so let's take a picture of this right here. So sailor mails, email rules, review request. Perfect. All right, so let me go over this with you. So what you want to do is repeat buyer type any product, or you can do selected SKUs if you only want to do a couple SKUs, any product. Repeat buyer, not first, but second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th, 11th. Leave all these blank. One email per SKU per shipment. So that's every product they bought in that shipment. You want to take out refunds, so no refunds on this order. And you want to ignore feedback status. After you do that, you just hit save, and that's it. Settings that are like this will only send it to people that have bought your product more than once. This is huge if you're in the consumable market. Even if you're not in the consumable market, I still recommend setting it up like this. If you have a really great product that you don't have to worry about the reviews because they're always good, then all you have to do is, ignore the repeat buyer type. You don't have to do anything in the advanced section. Oops. So what you can do is 10 days after purchase. You don't have to enter anything in here. You don't have to do anything in the advanced section, and just hit save. And it will send it out to all your products all the time. I still recommend, close. I still recommend though, if you're going to send it out for every single purchase, even single purchases and not double, then make sure you click no refund on this order. Because if they've got a refund and then you ask them for a review, it's going to probably be negative. So always make sure you do that no matter what. But if you want to do only repeat purchases, this is how you set it up. And I'll put this picture in your SOP. This has been huge for us. And when you do this, you don't have to worry about clicking that button every Monday or doing any of that. It does it all automatically for you. And you can kind of see here, I'll go down to stats here. And statistics table. Review requests, you can see we get about 400 sales a day, and you can see it's sending out almost 150 to 200, sometimes lower, every single day. We're asking for that many review requests from repeat purchasers. And so that's how we've been able to build a massive amount of review velocity and positive reviews. I mean, both of those are just so key. And so this has been a really interesting system for us. It's worked incredibly well, and we're pretty excited about it. So I would highly recommend using it. All right, I'll pause there. Any questions over how we ask for reviews? Let me go to the chat. Okay, putting the brand name in the title also causes it to appear in Google search results. Good call. Okay, great. So yeah, reviews, you need to focus on it. And Matt says gold. Yeah, thank you. Building an audience. You got to build an audience. I want to show you guys, like, this isn't to brag. This is just to show you our email list is now 50,000. Our YouTube is now, let's see where we're at. Our YouTube is now 41.6 thousand. And then our Facebook, and this is 4 years of building. So start now. Our Facebook group is almost 12,000. Start now. This is 4 years of building this audience, and we're almost to 100,000. Actually, we're over 100,000 now. So just start now, start building that audience. And it just makes a huge difference in being able to get great reviews, because your audience will always back you. And just provide value for them. I do interviews with different doctors. So these two doctors came on my show. We did an interview on topics. And I don't even provide the content anymore. We just do interviews. We still do content. We do coaching calls and everything. But start building your audience now. It just makes such a huge difference. us doing this course, we have the free course that is to provide free content for our users in order to build awareness and to build our audience, in order to build our agency. We just love serving, number one, and that's what you should always focus on, is service. But service is so key when it comes to just making money with your product brand, with your agency, with whatever you're doing in life. You just have to serve, and that's it. And I mean, when I was an optometrist, when I had practices, we were on the Chamber of Commerce board. We hosted dinners, we sponsored a lot, and we served. We were volunteering for events. We were always there serving, because people want to reciprocate service. And if you serve for free, people will reciprocate by giving you money, by buying your products, buying your courses, hiring your agency. And so just really start building that audience today. That is how you get good reviews. And then managed by stats. I showed you that little tactic. So any questions right now?
One thing to add to that with the service, when we started to shift the focus in the agency to just talking to our clients every month and saying, okay, what's your goals? How can we serve you better? When we finish meetings, hey, how can we make it better for you? And then that's when it's continually to take our agency off. It's just, how can we make it better? And then we guys with your products saying, okay, how can I make this product better for my customer, and so forth. And after that, the sales will come, the PPC will get better. And that's just one of the things that we built our agency on, and it really, really helps every year.
Yeah, and to kind of piggyback on that, and then we'll jump into the next thing. We just kind of were in existence, word of mouth. That's how we spread the word about us. We didn't really do anything. We had a handful of clients, and then we eventually, we've tripled in size since we started focusing on serving others and coming out with blog posts and videos on YouTube and Facebook and starting the group. And we've tripled our client load. And like I said, we don't have a lot of clients, but we focus on those clients really well. And we do that on purpose because we want to serve them really well. And we don't expand fast on purpose. So focus on service. I know Matt's loving this because he's a big brander. So go ahead.
I wanted to share something on how I get reviews too, and it's more specific on the type of product that you have. But for any product that I do, I look for things that I can kind of give a customer an excuse to register something for me. Like if you just say, hey, register for a warranty, nobody's going to do it. But for example, I have luggage locks, and I say, hey, if you register, I'll send you a free luggage key anytime. And I've been able to get thousands of emails just from people registering for specific things. Another interesting one that I've done, and I've had some other people I've worked with do too, is you just put a serial number on the product. And by putting the serial number on, and it says, hey, register the serial number, then you can offer some like lost and found service with it, depending on the product. But what's cool is as soon as you have their contact information, that's when the relationship can start. So you send them to a landing page with a video, you introduce yourself as I'm the founder, yada, yada. All of a sudden there's that connection. And then how easy is it to ask for a review after that? Like people are more than happy to do so. So just something that I do for my products.
Yeah, and I love it when I get an Amazon product and like the first thing I see is give us 5 stars. It's like I haven't even opened the product yet. And so like you said, opening up a conversation, that's all we try to do with all our communications, is open up a conversation. And our customer service, Heather, she's great at engaging and then knowing when to ask for the review, if to ask for the review. But it's all about solving the problem first. Hold on, got something in my throat. It's all about solving that problem that they have first and then asking for a review. All right, perfect. Ready to move on? I'll share my screen again. All right, so I want to jump to special situations because this will be a brief section, and then we'll jump into sponsor brands and display because that might be a little bulkier, and we're an hour and 15 minutes in. I told you guys we wouldn't go 2.5 hours, so I want to make sure we don't do that and respect other people's time. So special situations, holidays. So before a holiday or a big shopping day on Amazon, Black Friday, Prime Day, Christmas season, all of that, there's always a dip in buyers, but an increase in clicks. And the reason is because you're shopping for somebody on your list. And so you're trying to figure out what you want to buy them. And so you're clicking or you're looking to see what kind of deals are coming out for Prime Day. So this always leads to a higher than normal ACOS. And so what we do is just what I showed you today. We turned down our target ACOS inside quartile 10 to 20%. I turned it down to 50% today from 65. The reason I did that is because we're going into Labor Day. We're going into a lull period. Back to school, Labor Day, September usually sucks. October's okay, but it's always kind of a dead period before Q4. And so there's no point in trying to accelerate your sales and trying to launch because nobody's buying. And so just kind of maintaining. So this is when we go into that more maintenance mode for our budget. This is when we go into more maintenance mode for quartile. We're going to be more aggressive as far as, or less aggressive as far as ACOS, and just turn it down to 50% versus our normal 60 to 65%. And you saw how fast quartile adjusts to that. So what we then do is we'll probably keep it down at that 50% level until the week of Black Friday. And probably the day before Thanksgiving, we'll turn it back up to 65%. And the reason is because we don't want to be wasting all that money. And then we can get really aggressive come Black Friday, or if Prime Day happens to come back in September like they say, who knows. And then Black Friday, Cyber Monday is even bigger. And then all throughout the Christmas holiday season, we don't have Christmas products, but there's an increase in traffic. And so they're buying. So holidays, turn it up before that. And then in dead seasons for your product, kind of going down to point number 3, we turn it down. And so that's something to keep in mind. And then finally, lightning deals. So if you have a lightning deal, focus on the 20% of campaigns or the search terms that are making most of your sales. Go into these campaigns. I'm going to show you this. Turn up the budget and the top of search placement. And how much to do this depends on how aggressive you want to go, but I typically will double my budget and increase the top of the search by 100%. We don't do a lot of lightning deals anymore. We go on streaks where we do a lot and then we don't do a lot. But the key thing with a lightning deal is you have to have good organic traffic and sponsored product traffic. You have to have a lot of traffic to the listing to make a lightning deal work. If you don't have a lot of traffic, it's not going to work. So a lot of people are putting lightning deals on and they don't even get traffic to that listing, and they say lightning deals don't work. They do work. You just have to have traffic to it. But just something to note, Quartile will reset the budget and bid adjustment at the end of the day. So let me just show you briefly what that means. So let's say this is the product that we're going to do a lightning deal on, which I think we have one coming up. Let me check. Lightning deal upcoming. Oop. Actually, we'll do that. All right, so upcoming lightning deal on this is going to be Sunday, September 6th. And so on Sunday, September 6th, I'm going to come over here to Campaign Manager, or Amy's going to come over here, one of the two. We're going to either find all of those for that product, or we can click our portfolio, either one. We're going to look at the last 65 days of data. This is a sponsored display ad, so I'm not going to go into that one. Here is a phrase. Here's the ATM. I'm not going to touch that one. But I'm just going to come into here, and I sorted it by orders, by the way. And so you can see all these orders. And then you can also do one other thing. And I'd also show your impressions here. And then sort it by impressions. So maybe go into your top 5 by impressions. So this one again. Here's another one that's a little high ACOS, but so just kind of jump into about 10 of your campaigns, ones that get a lot of impressions, ones that get a lot of clicks, ones that get your most sales. So you're 80-20 again. And so, you know, I've got all of these open. Here's another broad one, broad, exact, broad phrase. Okay, that's probably good. So you have these 10 open. I'm just going to show you how to do this on one of them. But we're going to come into here. We're going to come over here to placement. Actually, we'll just go to campaign settings. So campaign settings, you can double your budget if you want. I'm pretty sure 773 is plenty budget. And then you can up these. And so I would just add 100 to this, add 100 to this, and then click save. I'm not going to click save, but you get the point. Click save, and then that will increase your bid. Actually, I'll just show you here. So it was $1 to $1.17. Now it's $1 to $2.17. And so you're just going to get a lot more aggressive because your conversion rate is going to be sky high because it's a lightning deal. And you're going to take a lot of sales as a result of that. And so with lightning deals, increase your budget if needed, increase your top of search placement. And if you want to, your product page placements, and do that for your top 10 campaigns. So you can see all these campaigns. These are our top 10. And so do that for all of those. And those are product targeting. This is OP. So you can do the same for those because that lightning deal will show up on other detail pages, which is good. So that's what we do with lightning deals. Pretty simple. Any questions on special situations or anything to add? Can anybody else think of anything? That was kind of Pixar and I's brainstorm.
I don't know if I caught it. Did we also say to increase the budget for the auto for that day?
Oh, yes. Great call. So
Yeah.
also increase auto campaigns if you have them running. And explain that again, Pixar, why we do that.
Yeah. So, and this is not an old auto. This is an ATM. This is a quartile auto that we're referring to, just to clarify. So there's a keyword phrase called today's deal placement that comes through the ATM. When there's a lightning deal, quartile and the auto campaign team up to just launch that lightning deal through the roof, and it's going to show up everywhere. Then it's going to show up on different ASINs, different keywords, and so forth, and you're going to see that lightning deal take another level. So increase your auto campaigns budget that day. If you have the budget, increase it by 500 to 1,000 for that day. And then the next day, just decrease it. But I really increase to keep that auto campaign going for the duration of that auto campaign very aggressively, and it'll really help.
Yeah, and then to reiterate, Adam Smith asked, do you have to go back in and reverse them? Quartile will reset it usually within 24 hours.
Yeah, but double check with an ATM as well.
Yeah, just double check it, but usually Quartile will reset it because that's what they manage, is the bid adjustment. They manage the budget. They manage the bid every single day. All right. Yeah, and so could you show us this email sample from the request for views? And great question. And Matt answered it by saying that it is Amazon's standard template. Amazon doesn't allow you to customize that. And then the from field is just, you set that up with Managed by Stats when you set up your email automation. All right, so sponsored brands and sponsored display. I actually just did a blog post with sponsored display ads. It should be getting released this week. That goes into it a lot more detail than what I'm going to do here. What I'm going to do here is just go over the two that we're using. And so sponsored display ads, now we're getting back into Campaign Manager. So you can't do this inside Quartile, but using Quartile to automate the sponsored products allows you to focus on sponsored brands and display. And so when you're inside of here, I'm going to do sponsored display first. When you go to create campaign, here's sponsored display in beta. You guys will not see all the options that I have, because when you start to spend more, you get access to the beta features a little sooner than someone that doesn't spend as much. So number one, we're a 5-year-old company. And number two, we spend quite a bit with Amazon PPC. But here's the two that we use. So down here in targeting is what I'm going to be focusing on today. Product targeting in sponsored display. So this is not product targeting in sponsored products, which is what we built in Quartile. This is product targeting inside a sponsored display. The nice thing is you can use the same ASINs. And so going back to our search, not our search term report. I thought I was done with that, but let me pull it back up. It's going to be right here. And by the way, you guys have this course example, you have access to this. So when we're inside of this, and we've already built from the search term report, we build all those, and then for the category targeting, we build all these. So again, depending on how much budget you have and how aggressive you want to be, you want to first of all do all the ASINs that are your brand. And so you want to have that brand defensive campaign. And then you want to have you know, going after all of the words or all of the products in that category. So it's very simple to set these up. Very simple. Daily budget, you know, you can start out a little lower or you can start out a little higher, again, depending on what you want to do. But I recommend starting out at 25 at least, just to test it. And what you want to do is you want to start these with SD, sponsored display underscore. And then how we usually name it is just put the ASIN in. And then you can put product targeting. So we're doing the product targeting side of sponsored display. SD underscore triggers quartile. Quartile will optimize this. It is not perfect. I do recommend still watching them, but Quartile does optimize it. It just takes a lot longer than sponsored products does. Then ad group name. You know, you can create a couple different ad groups. You can create a defensive and an offensive one. Doesn't really matter. You just need to keep track of it on an individual ASIN basis. Choose product targeting. Put the ASIN in here to search for it. I like to put both SKUs in just in case one gets suspended or you run out of stock. Bid, kind of up to you. For defensive, for my own products, I like to go higher, $3 to $5, up to 10. For offensive ones, start at $1. See where that takes you. If you don't want to be that aggressive, start out at $0.25. So just kind of determine how aggressive you want to be. 25 cents is conservative. $1 is, you know, a little bit more aggressive for an offensive one. And then for defensive, I'll do $10 because I don't want people showing up on mine. I'll just keep it $1 for this purpose. So we don't want to do categories. Never go after categories. That, again, is leaving everything up to Amazon. Go after individual products. You just did that research for your product targeting campaigns. Go to enter list. And then we're going to come up here. So these are from our search term report. So we'll come back over here. Where was I? There we go. Right here, target. And then you'll see 17 to 38 weren't added. Not really sure why those weren't added, but probably because it was duplicates actually. And then we'll grab all these. And so put them right there and target. And then you can see we have quite a few here. After you do that, you'll see the creative right here. Amazon product page right, Amazon product page middle, mobile rectangle. So you can see everywhere it's going to be right here. Mobile leaderboard, leaderboard, billboard, large rectangle, and then launch campaign. You don't have to look through these. I was just showing you where all it will show up. So there's 10 different placements on here. And so when you see things like this, that is a sponsored display product targeting ad. That's the simple way to use it. This is the main one we use in sponsored display. You may not have access to this, but let me just show you kind of examples. So we'll go back into our product. Actually, let me see. There might have been one back there. And I'm not going to be able to show you the mobile ones, obviously. Yeah, I don't see any on this first page. So we'll go into here. All right, so let's look at everything. So product display ads, here's one right here. Essentials. Usually one shows up right here. I don't know why it's not showing up. Turn this off. And then let's scroll down. Brands related to this category. This is a product display ad. We'll scroll down a little bit more. Let's see if there's any more here. And then there's going to be different ones for mobile as well. And then, is there any down here? No. So these are just different from product targeting. So product targeting inside sponsored products is these. Product targeting inside sponsored display is these. And so that's the big difference between the two. Actually, let me go to the one ounce that might show up a few more. Sometimes there's a banner up here. Nope, still showing about the same. Okay. So that's one of the main sponsored displays that we use. Going back down here to targeting, going to audiences. I hesitate to ever recommend searches and views. Searches and views under audience targeting is a big waste of money unless you do it right. If you do decide to do this, start out with a very, very low budget, like $25 or less, even $5 maybe, and doing like a quarter. If you do more, you're going to waste a ton of money. And so just to briefly cover what these are, searches, let's say somebody searches for eyelid cleanser. They've never seen your product before, but they search for eyelid cleanser. Amazon knows you're relevant for eyelid cleanser. Therefore, it's going to show your product all over the display network. For those that don't know what a display network is, let me just go to ESPN real quick and show you what the display network is. Also CNN.com. And so people don't feel left out, I'll go to Fox News as well. I don't frequent any of these sites, but I'm going to show you what the display network is. This is an ad. This is an ad. This is an ad. These are all display network ads. And so if somebody searches on Amazon for eyelid cleanser, you have, close that. You have searches on. They never see your product. They never click on it, but you have searches on. Then they're going to be targeted all over the internet with your product. Let me see if I can get any Amazon products to show up here. Let's go down to the bottom. Actually, Yahoo is a good one too. So there's a great display ad right there. There's another great display ad right here. So that is where you'll show up. You can see ad by Amazon. Here's a perfect one. So this one is either targeting, they're actually targeting probably no, they're probably retargeting me because I did click on this earlier today. Not because I wanted mascara, but because we were doing a research study. So searches, if they search for a word relevant to your product, then it will show up all over the display network. Views is very similar as well. The difference between views and searches is views is they've been on your product, but they did not buy. And so this is an example of a views because I was on this product earlier today and I did not buy. So now they're retargeting me across the internet on Yahoo. And so that's that one. So again, with that one, low bid, low bid, and low budget, $5, quarter bid. That's all I'd recommend, even 15 cents bid. I think ours is running at 15 cents with like a $25 budget. The one that we like to use is purchases. So this is great for consumables, definitely consumables. It works okay, even if you don't have consumables. If you don't have a consumable, I would recommend a low bid and a low budget. If you have consumables, I recommend going a little more aggressive.
And so, just to clarify, when he means low, he means 10 or 15 cents.
Yeah.
That low, because you're going to get a lot of clicks, especially with views and especially with searches. 10 cents, 15 cents, and then just check it every 4 or 5 days. And then a higher bid would be 25 to 35 cents. Don't go any higher. It will spend like crazy.
All right, so this one I wanted to show you all. That's funny. So this is our sponsored display for audience purchases, the one I just showed you guys. This is our best product. We don't do this for every product, but consumables we do. And you can see that it drives a lot of sales, $300 a day in sales. This is when we were suspended. And then this is really interesting because it dropped off similar to some of our other campaigns. So Amy, I'm going to have you look at that one more time. But this one we bid $5 and our budget is like $100. So I'm interested to see why this is not showing up as well as it should be. Yeah, it's already added. So not really sure what's going on with that, but yeah, you can see that when it works really well. $300 a day. And so this is a consumable, 22% ACOS. Last 65 days, we spent 3,000 to make 14. So great ad to run. And this will retarget people all across the internet and on Amazon as well in that display network for people that have bought your product before. So that's huge. It just keeps your product in front of them nonstop. And so that's the only two we use these for. So let me go back down to here. So sponsored display, we do the product targeting using the ASINs we accumulated from the product targeting from before. And then we use audiences for consumables. And then another note, make sure you start it out with SD underscore so Quartile knows to optimize it. You do have to make these manually inside Amazon. Any questions on that before we move on to sponsored brands? Does not look like it. Everybody looks to be good. Yeah, so if they purchased product A, could you advertise product B? I have not found a way to do that yet, but that would be awesome if you could do that. I'll actually go into that just a little bit because I was going to go into it in listing optimization, but I think I kind of skipped over it. Bundling. And so if you guys haven't explored bundling or you don't have the option yet, there's bundling inside of Amazon FBA now. And so ours is kind of hit or miss whether it shows or not, but you can see make it a bundle. And we supposed to have like 5 here, but it's only showing 1 right now. And then the frequently bought together. I recommend bundling no matter what. So let me get this out of the way again. Make your own bundles. Don't rely on this. This is cool that Amazon came out with this because this is FBA bundling, which is really neat. But make your own FBM bundles. So you come down here, you see these frequently bought togethers, make that an FBM bundle and put it on your listing. And so we don't have that one in particular, but you can see this combo kit. This is a bundle that we fulfill FBM. And so fulfillment by merchant. And so our warehouse who fulfills our Shopify, we don't have to send both of these packed together into Amazon for an FBA bundle. We actually just do FBM. And when they buy it, our warehouse for Shopify bundles this together and ships it out FBA. We get close to 40 purchases a day just on FBM as a result of having these bundles. So here's another one. It's our omega-3 and our spray. Kind of gets people to think about buying both. This is really weird. Oh yeah, pack of one, pack of one, pack of one, okay. And I'll show you some other bundles as well. So this is a bundle, this is our mask, and then our mask plus our spray. And what we're doing here is just like Matt just brought up, if you bought product A, you might like product B, or it just gets people in the mindset of knowing what other products you have. And so you can buy our spray and mask combination and you get a discount. No, that's disappointing. Our competitor is in the frequently bought together instead of our product. Oh, that's because this is the bundle. Let's go back to the actual mask. Ooh, they buy both our competitor and us. But yeah, so bundling is huge, and make sure you really take advantage of FBM with that. And if you don't have a warehouse, I can recommend one. I'll actually just tell you Viable Shipping is who we use. They're good friends of ours. I have no stake in the company, so I don't get any financial interest to recommend them. Here's another one of our products. You can see frequently bought together. The bundle that we have here is actually a pack of 3. And so a 3-pack. And so I think we might actually have this FBA. Nope, this is FBM. And then a makeup remover bundle. And so they have the makeup remover plus the soap, and that's a bundle as well. Okay, great question. So why do you think FBM bundles are better than Amazon FBA? So before Amazon came out with the ability to do that bundling, which shows up very scattered. I'll bring back up this product, see if it shows. FBA bundling is superior by far. This is new. Not everybody has access to this. Everybody does have access to creating a variation with a bundle, and I recommend doing both. So an FBM bundle up here on top of doing this, because it takes up more real estate. The more real estate you take, the less your competitors are on your page. The reason we do this as an FBM bundle is because it would cost a lot of money for us to bundle these together like individually and ship them into Amazon. So we don't have to stock things in Amazon that are bundles, because bundles sell as bundles and that's it. Whereas at our fulfillment center, these are just sitting on the shelf separately and they're bundled together as they're sold. if we see a bundle that is making a lot of sales, going back to our soap, we noticed that our 3-pack was making a lot of sales, like 10 per day. So now we start to send in bundled 3-packs. And so we did convert that to FBA. You can still see that it is just FBM right now. But there's no rhyme or reason, or there is rhyme or reason to it, but we have both FBM and FBA bundles. I hope that answered your question. All right, now for the final frontier. We are almost done with this whole thing. I know fire hose for 2 weeks, brain hurting, need to take a nap after this, but it's all worth it, because once you can go back through this over and over again, I'd recommend going back through it again in a month, especially with Q4 coming, because it will kind of tell you a lot. Let's go over sponsored brands. Sponsored brands are expensive, very, very expensive, except for video ads. So the first thing you always want to focus on is creating a video ad. I'm going to try to pull up a couple video ads. Yeah, I can do that. Let me pull them up real quick. I don't think they've been performing well lately, but that's just because it's becoming a lull in the season right now. So video ads, 40% ACOS, spent 7 to make 17. And let's see here. Let me show you a couple of them. I want to show you that you don't have to get fancy videos. You kind of saw a couple of ours already. But let me just kind of reiterate some. You can see they don't get approved a lot. Okay, so let's go over the sunglass one. That was a professional video. I don't think this one was. And then I want to go over, no, not that one. Maybe this one. Just going to try to find a couple of these just to show you some creative. Follow Amazon's guidelines. I'm not going to go over those today just because it wastes our time and it changes every week. So make sure you follow Amazon's guidelines, but it has to be under 45 seconds. This is a professional video. I had somebody shoot this for me. It's got music on it. This is an old video, but it works. Catches their attention. Simple, no words, nothing. And yet cheesy. But it works, it works. And then let's go over the iMask one. Let me see how we did this one. This one's another great example. So we did do a voiceover.
Just microwave for 15 to 20 seconds, place the warm compress over closed eyes for 15 to 20 minutes, and experience that home spa therapy. The mask provides relief for irritated eyes.
So these are pictures that I created inside Canva. And I just did a quick video of my wife putting it on and microwaving it, and then just put it all together using Camtasia. It literally took me less than an hour to create this video. And it's so easy to create. It can be a slideshow like this. It can be a video. It can be anything. Let me see if I can find some other ones. Just kind of show you guys examples of video ads. This is a slideshow video. So again, voiceover, slideshow.
Provides support.
I like to use bright colors because it catches your eye. And, you know, just these are literally the photos from the listing. That's it. I'll just show you a couple more just so you guys can kind of get an idea. So this is us doing a live video on YouTube and just going over how to use it.
Because cleaner eyelids help alleviate your eyelid problems by releasing more oils.
That's it, pretty simple. And then let's see, this one's not wanting to show. That's because that product is suspended. Let's see. Yeah, that's a great point, Boris. The only issue with video ads, that only one spot is available. And with more accounts getting this option, the price is going to get higher. That's the case. So my 5 years experience with Amazon is that I think video ads are here to stay, but something becomes sexy. Video ads are that sexy girl that everybody wants to take the dance, and people will simmer down from it. I don't think that's the case with video ads. I think video ads are here to stay, and they will continue people will continue to use them over and over again. But sponsored display, sponsored brands, those are all things that you just need to keep exploring and keep testing. because not many people are doing it. Even videos, there's still not a lot of people doing it. I'd say less than 5% of sellers are doing it. And so getting in the video game is huge. You can see these ACOSs are pretty low. Sunglasses is a very competitive category in a 50% ACOS. eye mask 31%. My ACOS is usually in the 70s for this product. Our eyelid wipes ACOS is usually in the 50s, 27% ACOS. So you can see it's just another way to drive a lot of sales. So I'd highly recommend making sure you do it. Other things inside of sponsored brands, and I'll go over exactly how we pick what we pick for sponsored brands. We're testing Store Spotlight. This is something new. High ACOSs right now. I thought that it would be lower, but we're still trying to optimize these, so I don't recommend these yet. But this sends to your store page. Product collection is what I'm going to focus on right now. Again, with these, SB underscore has to be in front if you want Quartile to optimize it. And so I like to call it headline search ad or sponsored brand ad, whatever. And then you can say what it is. And so these used to be called headline search ads, so we still kind of call it that. And then you can get very granular with these and just be keyword specific, which I highly, highly recommend. Put it in your portfolio, start at a low budget with low bids, product collection. And so let's just put in, and actually let me take that out, and you can put every variation of that product in your listing. So you have 5 products there. I recommend putting a few more products in there as well, just in case a suspension occurs. Let's see. I'm not going to get into that, but so you can create a landing page. You can also go to your Amazon store. We like landing pages. It's just simpler. Amazon stores have landing pages. You build them. I haven't seen these convert as much as landing pages have. Landing pages look like Amazon search. And so it literally looks like you're searching on Amazon. Whereas in the store pages, let me see if I can just pull up my store real quick just to show you what it looks like. It's either this link or this one down here. Amazon storefront. Yep, here we go. So this is what I'm showing you. This is what it looks like. So it will only show the products that you put on here. That is new landing page looks like this. So it looks like Amazon search. Amazon store looks like whatever storefront page you want them to go to. So this is our homepage. On our homepage, we just talk about all our products and how we help the world. Lid and lash cleanser, we focus on the lid and lash cleanser with a video on top. Ooh, that's an old video. And then all the products down here. And then you have every product we have: eye care routine, wash, heat, cleanse, moisturize, remove makeup. So we'll have all those products down below. And then eye cream, face wash. This is just beautiful work done by Amy here with the design work. That's our dry eye book that we wrote. Eyelid wipes, everything involving that brand that we just acquired. And then of course our sunglasses here at the very end. So you can send them to this page if you want, or you can send them to this list. So again, Amazon store goes to this, new landing pages goes to this. This is the key part here. I want you to take away 2 things from sponsored brands. I want you to read the customer's mind, number 1. And number 2, I want you to focus on your 80-20 keywords again. The reason that is because sponsored brands cost a lot of money. And so you don't want to put a lot of effort behind it because it's going to cost you a lot of money. And you need to create individual headline search ads or sponsored brand ads like this per search term. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Don't do that. So I'm going to give you 2 examples here. So hydrate lid and lash cleanser. I love lid and lash cleanser. So this is a brand sponsored one. And so I'm just going to put hydrate lid and lash cleanser on it. of course, we can capitalize correctly. So you can see what it looks like over here. Shop I love. You can edit the logo by choose from your assets. So I can put this picture in here of the Hydrate Lid Lash Cleanser. And so you can see what this is going to look like on mobile, see what it's going to look like on desktop. Of course, put more pictures on. I didn't mean to take all those out. But this is the Hydrate Lid Lash Cleanser. So you can see what it looks like on desktop with the 3 products. You're more than welcome to test optimizing this. We don't use that as much. But if you're not going to check it a lot, then I would recommend using it. For a brand defensive headline search ad, I recommend taking all these words that are brand and just using it all in one. And then doing broad, phrase, and exact. And so I'd put all those in there. I'd actually do more of like a $10 keyword bid, maybe $5. Let me see if I can, a second, let me do that. Let me remove it all, add keywords. So you have all these at $10 per click. I wouldn't worry about negative as much for the brand defensive one, but you can add your master negative list, that we made in the previous example. So here's our master negative list. We can put it right into here. Negative phrase, add keywords. And then what I'd do is I'd name this one defensive. So this is one that's defending all those search terms that is your brand. Pretty simple. That's a very simple ad to create. I want to take it a step further for you guys though. Now I want to show you, I'm not going to cancel this. I'll actually just do it in here. If you're not going after a brand defensive campaign, if you're not going after search terms that are your brand, let's use eyelid cleanser for example. Eyelid cleanser would be the only term I'd go for in this. And so what I would do is title it SB_ASIN eyelid cleanser. So I know that I'm only going after eyelid cleanser. If you want to get even more detailed, you'd break this down into exact, broad, and phrase. So you'd create 3 different campaigns for the same keyword. So I'm going to create your exact one. So SB_ASIN eyelid cleanser exact. Budget of whatever you want, product collection, new landing page. This is our HOCL product. So we'll want to put all of them here that are options. And then right here, eyelid cleanser is the search term that your customer is searching for. You want to read your client's mind, customer's mind. If I'm searching for eyelid cleanser, I want eyelid cleanser by I Love. Or eyelid cleanser with a benefit. Eyelid cleanser, you probably can't capitalize that second word. Eyelid cleanser for irritated eyelids. So the person types in eyelid cleanser. Let me see if we're actually winning for this. It's a pretty competitive landscape. I'm guessing Avenova is. So that one's not really reading their mind as much. This looks like an old headline search ad that we need to replace. But if I search eyelid cleanser and this shows up, let me make this a little bigger for you guys. Eyelid cleanser. So I'm searching for eyelid cleanser and eyelid cleanser is the headline search ad. That's huge. That's going to be like, wow, they know exactly what I'm looking for. That's going to lead to a much higher conversion rate. Now coming down here, eyelid cleanser, only exact. And you can look at what your bid is right here, or you can just start your bidding at whatever. So cost per click is $3.25. You can start there if you want. You can start at the suggested. So let's see, suggested bid, and we'll do eyelid cleanser exact, $1.94. And that's it. That's the only keyword I'm going for. You don't have to worry about a negative list because this is an exact match only. And then I'd submit for review. Now, after you submit this for review, actually, I might submit this for review. Take note that I'm doing that, Amy. And then I'll show you guys what we do after that. All right, so it's been submitted. We're gonna go back to Campaign Manager. And then what we do with that, I'll pull it right back up. Maybe. 67 results. Where is the one I want? It's probably not showing up quite yet. Let's go to filter by type and do sponsored brands. So you can see that, so we do have some. Those are modified broad. So the one isn't showing up quite yet. Let me just see if I can get it. Let's see. Filter by. I think pause might work because it's being approved right now. No. It just may not be showing up because it's not active yet. So usually, I guess I can show you with these other ones too. So you can see this one, but you can see how expensive it is. 60% ACOS. But the nice thing is you don't have to, there it is right there. All right, so the nice thing about this is you don't have to keep repeating everything you just did. Go to the one you just created, hit copy. Change this to broad. And then you don't have to worry about redoing everything you just did. So eyelid cleanser. I think this is a different one actually, because we didn't add a custom image, but you can do that too. And then we can add more products to this. Keyword targeting, then we want to do eyelid cleanser broad only. We'll do suggested bid. So that's how you can create your broad one, and then you can do the same thing for your phrase one. So with broad, we do want to put our negative list because we don't want to be going after everything that doesn't really apply to us. Oops. Negative phrase. Eyelid cleanser by I love. Broad match. Then you can hit submit for review. So those are kind of how we create sponsored brands. So again, you want to focus on the 80-20. You will spend a lot with these. So you want to be very careful. If you decide to attack your competitor and go after them, that will be even more expensive, but you're driving their ad sales up too, or ad spend up too. So eye spray, so I'd focus on eye spray, Avanova, eyelid cleanser, eyelid moisturizer for dry eyelids, and then your brand name. And so those are the only ones I would really do. And then you can kind of expand upon there as you have budget. And so you can go blepharitis treatment, eyelash cleaner, and just keep going more and more and more. So that's how we do our sponsored brands. And we can continue to build those. Click on drafts. Yep, should have done that. All right. Okay, so Amy says they're getting denied unless you have your actual logo in there, so good to know. Thank you for that. All right, perfect. So going back to this, sponsored brands, focus on that 80-20 search terms. For Quartile, just optimize it, start with SB underscore, and then make separate campaigns for broad, phrase, and exact. Read your customer's mind. We do this for our Google ads too. So we try to do separate ads per search term or keyword that they're searching for on Google. And so we'll do like a eyelid cleanser. We'll go after that keyword, and then we'll have an article on eyelid cleansing and what eyelid cleansers you should use. So that is essentially a wrap on what we have here. Any questions over anything we went over today? Dang, I'm just that good, right?
I love the idea of driving the competitor's ad costs up. There's one particular one that I'd be happy to spend hundreds of dollars per click just to get them out of there.
So be careful. Yeah, you got to be really careful. So like what we used to do for brand defensive, our own brand, is we used to bid $25 per click. And then our competitor, the pharmaceutical company, doesn't care about what they spend. And so all of a sudden they were bidding $30 or $20. So they were just under us. And then all of a sudden our cost per click went from 25 cents to $25. And our ACOS went from like 2% on our brand name all the way up to like 200%. And so it was insane. So be careful when you're doing that with your brand. But if you're doing it against a competitor, I would say start at $5 and then just kind of go up from there. You'll find that sweet spot where they're still winning, because you don't want to beat them, because when you beat them, then you're spending like $10 to steal that click and you're not going to convert that well and your ACOS is going to be massive. But if you're like at $9 and they're bidding 10, you're going to drive their costs so high and it's going to hurt them. And so that's what I recommend doing with that. With Avanova, Avanova is a soulless company that they're publicly traded. They're a pharmaceutical company. I think I've told you guys about them before. I sit on their quarterly meetings because they're public. And so they get excited. They got excited on Q1 because they lost $2 million, which was an increase from losing $4 million the year before. And so it just blows my mind how much they just waste money. They have like a whole executive team of like 15 people that get paid probably $200,000 to $500,000 a year. And they're not even profitable. So we're almost like, I think they're doing 10 million a year and we're almost to their level and we're profitable. And so I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Bonuses are probably paid on revenue, not profit.
But they're publicly traded. So I just don't like.
That's true. Yeah.
They just started selling on Walmart.com and on Walmart.com, they said after releasing on Walmart, stock soars 36%. They went from 70 cents to $1. And I was like, whoa.
Uh-oh. Hold on.
I don't recommend paying attention to your competitors, but I like to watch them because they're the inspiration behind our whole brand. And now that I've gotten to know the company very intimately, they're laughable. And it's just like, how are you guys surviving? And I just don't get it.
It's a matter of time.
It is. I mean, they're pretty much running out of time, and soon they will be out of time. But they have a great branding. And so if you go like to their brand analytics and look up Avanova, they get searched a lot. So that's what we talked about with product targeting, product display ads, or product targeting inside a sponsored display and product targeting inside of sponsored products. So both of the product targetings to target those ASINs that get a ton of traffic because it's brand awareness. And so they're just going to see you over and over again. So every time they're on Avanova's listing, they see us. And we convert quite a few people because we're $10 less per month than them. And so that's huge. And if you order our big bottle, which they don't have a bigger bottle yet, it's $50 for a 4-month supply. They're $30 for a 1-month supply. And so it's a big difference there. And so we get a lot of people converting on based on price. And the quality is just as high on ours as it is as theirs. I don't recommend any other competitors on the market because of the quality of our 2 products. All right, Adam says, Quartile does do EU. Yes, they do. Same process. Pretty simple. We actually, with our agency, we actually focus on the US based. And so we don't take on a lot of European sellers. We have one, but whenever we take on a new client, they're always like, can you take us over to Europe? And we always say, have you maximized your US presence yet? And the answer is usually and almost always no. And so personally with iLove, we took over to Europe and we backed out. We've done that twice now, just because there's so much, the US market is so consumable and are consumer driven, and we just buy. And Europe is just not like that. And so we recommend focusing on US market. And as you build up your brand presence and your brand, like just people knowing your brand, then you're going to sell more in the US just as doing that. And I can't recommend just focusing on one market, because once you start spreading yourself thin, that's when you start to lose sales. And so we did take one client over to Europe, and she realized after we said not to, and it just didn't do even close to if we took that money and put it back into the US market. And now we're back in the US only with her, and her sales are taking off again because she didn't have to spread her inventory, her money, everything thin. And so go ahead.
And to add to that, I've launched 3 different ways with Europe. And if you're going to do Europe, make sure that you've hired extra employees, because you're going to have to take a lot of time just to get everything up and running. I've dealt with consumables all 3 times, and all 3 times there's some problem. Oh, you can't do this ingredient in this country. Oh, you have to apply for a special process in this country. Oh, Germany doesn't allow, France doesn't, but that Spain and England does. And then 6 months later, then it's UK and Spain are then prohibited. And it's just, and then you have to do all the translations and everything like that. I mean, if you have a strong brand and you have the time and you can dedicate another full-time job to launch in Europe, well, then do it. But other than that, I recommend staying in the US. The population of the US is pretty similar to the entire EU. So I would recommend sticking with the US. And then if you want to expand, maybe tell people on your website, hey, we do ship internationally, or so forth. But I would stay away. Just keep launching more products in the US. That's where the consumer area is.
You always come to Canada.
Oh yeah, or Canada.
So I was going to comment on that. So people I'll just go to other English speaking countries because it's easy. Canada is like 25 million people. California is like 3 times the size of that. Australia is 25 million people. And so they're very small markets still. And Amazon usually you can open up shipping from Amazon US to Canada. It's not quite as good, but they're just very small markets. And so Amazon UK I think there are 90 million people, and so is Germany. And so those are bigger markets. But again, Adam can attest to this. Adam Smith can attest to this more than I can. UK people just aren't, they aren't consumers like the US is. And Europeans, and I don't even know if Canada, you guys are like this as well, but you guys just don't spend frivolously. Is that the right word? You guys just don't just buy, and people just spontaneously buy in the US. And until you're over here and experiencing it, like when I run around my neighborhood, and we live in a pretty nice neighborhood in Austin, and it's just amazing to me, like on recycling day, like just the boxes and boxes of stuff every single week on like my neighbor's doorstep. They buy something new every single week. That's huge. And they just have cardboard, and it's crazy. The Amazon truck is literally parked in our cul-de-sac for like an hour delivering packages. That's US. So just something to keep in mind.
Similar to Canada, there's just not enough people. So even though I'm based in Canada, 95% of all my sales are in the US. Plus, it's also fun to make US dollars when you're a Canadian, at least right now.
I actually love that about Europe, because I'd be making pounds and euros, and I'd actually keep it over in that bank account. And it was almost like an emergency savings account. And so I'd build up in euros and in pounds, and then if I'd have an alert set to when it like went to like 150 to 1, because I think it's like 133 to 1 right now, and the pound is a little higher than that. But I'd have it set up so when it spiked, I would bring it over. And so that's one way that I did it. But yeah, we're out of Europe completely now. We sell from our website worldwide. And so if somebody wants us worldwide, they'll pay for it. And we do cheap shipping with post office, which usually never ends up getting there. But we tell them that if you pick cheap shipping, it may not get to you. And then we have expensive shipping through DHL, which is trackable all the way door to door, even in like the middle of Africa. All right, cool. I'll get these replays posted as fast as I can. I think we're going to pick up our son right now, so replays should